is O for show.
Oh, sure. I'm loving it.
Bringing you all of the gaming news from this past week, all the way up till today.
No matter how much it hurts.
Oh, man.
There's your obscure reference for you.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Love it.
To anybody who gets that, we love you. Guaranteed.
Yes. So, welcome everybody to the old stream. What do we got? What do we got going this week, Devin?
You know, the all-fabled, John Mundy interview is finally upon us. And then as well, we're going to be talking a little bit about Division and just some other stuff, going with that. I don't want to ruin the whole show going forward.
Right. I like your little your tie-in with the fabled thing. That was good. That was real good. It was cool.
You got it, dude.
All right. Well, then we'll get into the normal starting thing with you and birthdays. I like this. I like the birthday thing.
Dude, the birthdays are probably like, the best piece of it all, because we get to really talk about those who are just that special on this day. Well, I mean, this week. So we got Neil, who's got his birthday tomorrow. And we also got our man Daniel T. Down, Daniel, having your birthday on a Thursday again. Nice.
Really? On a Thursday?
On a Thursday.
On a Thursday.
And then we got your boy Jason M. coming in on Saturday. So those are our birthdays this week. Happy birthday to you fellows. Happy birthday.
Cool. I can't wait till we expand a little bit more and we get people to send in their birthdays so we can shout them out. So if anybody out there that's watching, listening, send us your birthdays and we will definitely give you a shout out whenever your birthday's coming up.
Yep. More than willing to. It'll be great.
So let's jump into the releases of the week. First off, beloved shmup that I still own. It's one of the only 360 games that I still own.
Ooh, I got you.
Sealed. It's a collector's edition, and it's Death Smiles coming out on the 10th, March 10th.
Oh, baby. I've been wanting to do this, but nobody can see it. I finally brought my gaming collection to my room, and it's inside of this giant toy chest. And I am right there with you, except I believe... Oh, yeah, that's a negative. I definitely spilt it all over the place, so bad idea. Anyway, I'm right there with you. Death Smiles, awesome shmup. I love side-scrolling, bullet hell type games. It's definitely a bullet hell game, and it's awesome. I love it.
It is a lot of fun, and it's coming to Steam on Thursday. Is that the 10th? Yes, they're on a Thursday again.
Ooh.
And then on Friday, Square Enix has taken a note from Nintendo and releasing Hitman finally. We were supposed to get that in December.
Yes.
Releasing Hitman for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I believe there was a beta for it for the PS4 last week.
Yes.
That I did not play because I'm not a PS Plus member, but that's okay.
It is okay.
I'm sure it's good. And then, of course, our release of the week. Everybody knows what it is. Everybody's been playing it all day long.
Yeah.
It is The Division.
The Division.
Ubisoft. Tom Clancy's The Division. Excellent game. I know that we stayed up last night to jump in The Division.
So extra late.
It started off great. I got 20 solid minutes of play before Mike showed up, and he took a dump right inside of my computer.
Yeah.
And it stopped working. So much like any other online-only releases, we saw The Division have its server issues last night.
Yeah.
Giving us all the old mic error.
Giving us the good old mic and the old Sierra and I forget, what was the other one?
Delta.
Oh my god. Delta Sierra mic.
Yep, so DMS?
Dude, I think I like it better with the full names, because it almost
I do too.
Gives it that military vibe they're going for.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ubisoft was just naming the developers who you could be mad at for making the issues happen last night.
It makes perfect sense.
So just email Mike at ubisoft.com.
Or Delta at Ubisoft.com. Or Sierra at Ubisoft.com.
Yeah, and they'll give you an explanation. Although, it's been pretty smooth for the rest of the day. I've seen it was out for about 40 minutes last night, and been playing really well ever since. I'm really, really enjoying the Division.
Yeah, the
I'm
only
very
part that I
surprised.
have messed up on it, or that was messed up for a long time, was that since the Uplay servers crashed on everything, like we're talking, if you wanted to play Assassin's Creed, no. If you wanted to play Far Cry, no. The Crew, no. None of that. It was all down for roughly an hour and a half.
Oh wow.
And so what also came out of that was that if you wanted to get the rewards that you had on Uplay out of the Division, or even out of your collector's editions, you couldn't get those in your game because you had to go to a specific vendor. But since Uplay services were down on that end as well, um, I just now got mine maybe about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, it was about 4 p.m. I played off and on today. It was about 4 p.m. when I was able to go and get my stuff
Yeah,
from that
so
vendor. So, yeah, I mean, that's not the end of the world. I still, man, it's been fun. I enjoy it. I like that it's difficult to level. I feel like that the game progresses in a very, very good pace.
yeah, I would agree with that. Actually, I was on the subreddit earlier, and there was a guy that has already hit level 30. He did it about 6 hours ago,
Wow.
and he completed, or he got to the level cap of like the main stuff
Hmm.
without any of the dark zone stuff. It took him 15 hours to do, 15 solid hours of playtime.
Gotcha.
And the last,
The
he
dark zone
said
is the PvP area, right?
yes,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah. So he
Yeah,
didn't do any PvP stuff at all.
I haven't looked anything at Dark Zone, or I've just been like playing the progression, basically, just the main story.
Hmm. And so yeah, it took him about 15 hours to do. Oops, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, it took him about 15 hours to do. So anyone who's not trying to just run through it as fast as they can and have a lot of fun with it, you definitely get some really good time out of it.
Excellent. So speaking of one shooter, jump over to another. My most anticipated game of my life, the one and only
The good
Overwatch,
old
has a
Overwatch.
release date. Finally.
You tell them
May
about it. Don't linger.
Oh, no, no, no. We gotta build this one up because Blizzard has
True, true.
all the way back when it was Project Titan till it was Overwatch, and now it's gonna be real. It's gonna be in your hands May 24th, and before that, you're gonna get a little taste of it with an open beta on May 5th through the 9th. Unless you pre-ordered, then you get it a little bit earlier, May 3rd through the 9th. So
Good
pretty
stuff.
excited. We're gonna get to finally play some Overwatch and Widowmaker. It's happening.
Yep.
Widowmaker's gonna be my girl. She's the background on all my stuff. So I'm ready. I'm ready
Yeah,
for this to happen.
I got Bastion going on me. Bastion's my boy, or my
So
road boy.
you could set up Bastion in a high ground, and I'll just stand on top of Bastion, and you just like pick off people coming up close, and I'll take them off far away.
Dude, with the way that the Bastion was aiming in the beta that everybody got to, or a lot of people got to play in, because I know you didn't. His range was ridiculous, so that would totally work. That's
Yeah.
viable. That's
Oh, I
viable.
like it. I like it. We should make it happen.
So let's see what else we got here. Oh yes, so going from one great thing to another great thing, depending on how you feel about it. Um,
Oh, jeez.
Another kind of beta deal is Fable Legends is seeing its close. It's
Uh,
officially being canceled, and the last day to be able to play it online, because I guess they're giving a little bit of a grace period before shutting it down for real, is April 13th. That is the last day that you can play Fable Legends if you've been in alpha. So,
oh wow. Yeah, I don't think I ever got a key for it, but I mean, we'll speak on it a little bit. Fable's so near and dear to our hearts.
yes.
It is so sad that Microsoft's not only canceling the game but potentially shutting Lionhead Studios down.
Yes.
Um, they've made a lot of incredible games that have definitely inspired me to want to join the game industry and Even to the point of you and I getting behind cameras and microphones and talking. Like, I feel like we owe a lot of that to Lionhead Studios and Fable specifically. I bought my original Xbox for Fable. Like, that was the reason. And
I'm actually right there with you because I remember one of my good buddies, Chris. I was sitting in his house and he was reading Game Informer about this new game coming out called Fable, and I was listening to talk about it, and I was like, "Man, that sounds really awesome! I think I want an Xbox for that." So yeah, that's definitely one of my first Xbox memories, as having that Fable in my mind.
Yeah, and as we've talked about in many other shows, Black and White Gamer Guys, our old show.
Yeah.
We own them all, man. I've owned Fable once 7 times over or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they re-release it, I'll buy it.
Yeah, I don't have them readily available to show everyone like I did last time, but yeah, definitely got them all too.
Put a link up somewhere to that video. I think it's the only one. Actually, I don't know if that video ever made it to YouTube.
Oh man,
I'll have to see if I've got it somewhere. But yeah, Black and White was an excellent game. But yeah, Fable 1 really shaped a lot of my gaming going forward. And I was a huge fan of Peter Molyneux for a long time. And he kind of just, fell off in what he did. And he's part of the reason the line is shutting down currently. But he still put out Fable 1, so I can't blame him.
Yeah. Fable 1 and the Black and White games, those are his shining examples over the last years, and really, I guess you could say, some people argue it, but I mean, he has received commercial success for Fable 2 and Fable 3. I can't deny it. I may not personally like him, but, he's definitely seen success in those games, but in my eyes, he hasn't really made anything, like, great and noteworthy since 2005. So, like, with 2, 3... Heroes, Journey, and
I don't think he was actually a part of Heroes and Journey, was he?
Those games came out in 2012 whenever he left.
Oh, okay. All right then.
So he had to have been at least involved in pre-production.
Yep.
And then Project Milo also being a thing. So much money sank into all of that stuff, and only getting basically bad press through it all, except for Milo. As cool as Milo was, it literally never came out. So.
And it was almost nothing. I mean, it was just an interactive. It was almost like a Tamagotchi for your Kinect.
True.
But
child Tamagotchi.
Peter Molyneux has big visions and big dreams, and just, I don't know if it's the team he puts around himself or what it is. He just doesn't have the follow through. But that's okay, because again, we got Fable 1,
and that's a great game. I love it.
Yes, it is. Everyone go play Fable 1 Lost Chapters or the Anniversary Edition that's on Steam, because it's worth it. It's definitely worth a playthrough if you've never played Fable. And
then also, because of the Anniversary deal, for a long time, Fable wasn't really all that playable on a Windows 7 machine until Anniversary came out. So
that is true.
So definitely get the Anniversary Edition. Don't get an original. Don't go find the original Fable somewhere. Try to play it on your Windows 7 machine, Windows 8, Windows 10 machine. It's going to fail. I guarantee you. I've tried it. It doesn't work. But Anniversary Edition totally works. So go get that and have fun with it.
Cool. So let's. I'm gonna let you hype this next piece up, because I think I'm a little too giddy to even talk about it. It's a huge moment for us, I think.
It really is. So. Our dev spotlight for today is Mr. John Mundy of FunBits. He's the creative director, and it's just a monumental thing to even have him on, for him to see, hey, these guys who are basically no-namers right now, I mean, just to have a sit-down with them is great.
Yep, that's incredible.
So I guess without further ado, I mean, I'll go ahead and just make it happen.
Awesome.
How does that sound?
Yeah. This is the John Mundy interview that we hyped up 2 weeks ago, and we're finally doing. Brings a smile to my face every time I think about it. It's amazing.
All right, here we go.
Ooh. Recently released Fat Princess Adventure for the PS4. Welcome, John.
Welcome, John.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you for having me.
Pretty well today. So just got a few questions for you. Been following your
your games in the industry for a while now, starting with Fat Princess a few years ago on the PS3. How did you get your start in the industry? Like, where did you get your foot in the door at?
Well, the funny thing is, everyone seems to have a funny story. At least a lot of the older folks do as well. And I think at this point, it's weird to say that I'm one of the older folks, but I do have a funny story. So when I was growing up, we had the county fair. Actually, every year they would do a theme, and this year they did technology, and this was now 20 years ago. And I decided, they listed off in the newspaper all the tech companies in the area, including game companies. And I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm 15. Let's do this. So I wrote a bunch of letters, and I got some of the little postcards back. Oh, that's cute. You know, your resume is on file. And actually got a few really nice letters back from some folks at there was Stormfront Studios at the time. It's now gone. Nice handwritten letter. You know, thanks. Oh my God, you're a little young for us, but. And then one group came back and actually said, when can you come in?
Oh, so that's awesome.
Nice.
That was it. Random story. 15 years old, getting a job interview for working as level designer in games. And that was that. And they hired me, and
that's really cool. That is a more unique story. I've definitely not heard of too many people getting in at 15, especially. That's really awesome.
Yeah, no, I didn't do the game school thing. In fact, game schools didn't even exist. And so just had to find your way in through any means possible, really, which was hard to do.
That first game that you worked on while you were there?
Oh, yeah. So I worked at, it was a company called Ronin Entertainment. They are no longer, unfortunately, but they called themselves Ronin because they were all ex-LucasArts guys. And they kind of wanted to be Ronin, like Masterless Jedi, Masterless Samurai. It was kind of fun. So we worked on a game called Neo Hunter, which was a side-scrolling shooter. Oh man, it was a rail shooter. It was fun for my first game, but I look back on it and pretend it doesn't exist because it's kind of bad. Yeah, it was actually the dialogue was written by Orson Scott Card, if you guys know.
Oh yeah, really?
Yep. Yeah. It was like, how did they get him to do this game? It's just really bizarre. And in fact, I missed meeting him. He's one of my heroes, but I missed meeting him by just a couple days. They actually had him on site. And it was actually, they were out of a house. We built this game out of the CEO and his friend's house before we eventually moved to an office. But yeah, it was just, hey, show up for an interview. And I'm like, am I at the right place? And it's a house. And yeah, sure enough, it was.
That's really cool.
Not bad.
Yeah, look up Neo Hunter. It's pretty bad.
I'm looking at screenshots and stuff of it right now. It looks interesting. It says it came out in 1996. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep.
Wow. Yeah. I'll have to actually see if I can find a place to play it. Maybe we can play it on the stream. Looks almost like one of those old LucasArts games.
Oh, you know what?
LucasArts with a little bit of anime flair sort of thrown in.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
And
Check it out.
that other one that you were looking at is a side scroller. This one's like John was saying, on rails. Looks like.
It was interesting. I mean, it was a great way to cut my teeth. It was pretty easy. I had to manipulate images and pull them apart, so it was like 2.5D, and I would script all where the enemies went and that sort of thing, and the camera. So it was pretty fun. I got dropped in the deep end for sure.
So then with this shooter foray, I kind of looked into some more of the other stuff that you might have done with Namco. So you worked as you worked on level design for Kill Switch, right?
Yes, correct.
Were you actually the lead on that, or were you just one of the guys?
No, I was just one of the guys. I mean, it was a pretty flat team though. Like, it wasn't a huge team, and everyone kind of had a say on anything if they wanted. Obviously, we all had our specialties, but no, I was just a level designer. They handed me a section of the game and said, "Go."
Sweet.
Yeah, that team was actually a pretty impressive team. It's too bad we didn't get to continue, but we claimed to be the first team that ever did cover, and that kind of spawned a bunch of other interesting games like Gears of War and Modern Warfare, and no surprise that some of the team members on our team went off to actually work on those next. Wow. Yeah. Perhaps Namco passed on something that was too good to be true. I don't know. But,
Namco.
Yeah.
Do you, outside of what you worked on, do you have like a favorite game series that you just like? If a new game were to come out, you always get it, or you just own a lot of memorabilia from it?
I do, and I think it's a bad thing because I think the game is trended in a bad direction as well. But I'm an Assassin's Creed nut.
Oh,
Hey,
we
I'm
are
right
too.
there with you, man.
Huge fan.
I love it, and it's been a bummer a little bit since like I think Black Flag is where it kind of peaked, and then these last two have kind of not. I don't know what's. And you know, it's interesting. They said this last year they're not going to release one in 2016. They're going to take their time and do it right, and do a 2-year cycle instead, which I think is good. It's probably what it needs. But
Definitely.
yeah, I've been around Assassin's Creed since the beginning. I even got a watch this Christmas that I don't have on because it broke. But
Yeah,
I got something.
oh, go ahead.
I got a wallet. I got the Black Flag wallet. Like, I'm with you on
Nice.
that one. I really liked Black Flag as well.
Yeah, I own like 3 or 4 of the hoodies with the pointed hood. Like, I
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
have that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually have one of those in my car right now, but I got like overseas measurements, and so it doesn't fit my shoulders. Otherwise, I have one as well.
Moving on to things that you have personally done and some of the bigger things, like when you were starting with Fat Princess and Escape Plan, what were the inspirations there in terms of the gameplay style and things of that nature?
So I'll say I joined the team at Titan right kind of as they were leaving pre-production. So I was not actually, unfortunately, there for that little spark that starts kind of an IP, but I do know the story, which is cool. Basically, they wanted a game called Siege, which is its code name at the time, where it's just little dudes running around and just like capturing crazy princess castle style and cutting each other's heads off. And unfortunately, that didn't make it into the final because of ratings and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it was just called Siege, and it was all about you control an individual like RTS unit. Everyone controls a unit, and you're sieging a castle. And the funny story goes that so the princess was the flag. She was always meant to be the flag, and you'd feed her stuff and she'd get fat. For some reason, Siege didn't stick as a name, and so at Sony Santa Monica, they ended up calling it That Fat Princess Game. Oh, That Fat Princess Game. And eventually, Fat Princess became the name.
Awesome.
So actually, funny, inspiration comes from strange places. So the basis of the game came from a couple of guys at Titan, but the actual name just came from some folks at Sony forgetting what the name was, and they called it That Fat Princess Game. Yeah.
That's awesome. What about Escape Plan? Because I know you had a little bit more in terms of
Oh yeah.
the overall on that one. Where did the
Yeah.
idea of that one come from?
So Escape Plan was really cool. That started many years ago back at Stormfront. I mentioned that before. They actually sent me a letter when I was doing my, when I was 15, sending out all the letters. I sent Stormfront one. They were in Marin County, California. And so our CEO here, Chris Miller, he actually was working with some folks who were doing concept drawings, almost like they're kind of like Spike and Mike, like twisted animation stuff where, Happy Tree Friends where everything's getting killed and cut apart and blown up. Well, he did some black and white ones, and they were really like little short animation shorts, and they were always in this room, and it was always this little character and a big character, and whether there were sheep and minions exploding, and eventually we went, wow, this is like a puzzle game. Like each of these rooms are a puzzle that can be put together into a longer narrative, and that's pretty much where that came from. Yeah, concept artists are huge. Sometimes we in the industry tell them, hey, I want to make me a castle and do something crazy. But sometimes they come up with ideas that then you run with. And that's kind of how that one was birthed.
Awesome. Jumping off of that question, what are the plans for Fun Bits Future, if you can speak on anything like that?
Ooh, I was guessing that question would come. So there's not too much I can talk about. But I will say that we're exploring a lot of new stuff. We're really excited by some of the potential the industry provides, like Steam Early Access, getting a game out there, and really, you guys talk about community. Like, we just love the community. Like, we can't ignore it. And that's, you probably saw some of that with Fat Princess, and, how I hung on even though I had left Titan long ago, and just being a part of the community. And when you work with a big company like EA or Sony, they control the message. So we're not on site, we're not owned by Sony, so we couldn't control all the message all the time of what we wanted to talk about, how we want to engage with the community. So looking at things like Steam Early Access and, crowdfunding and sorts like that, like Fig, which is, Tim Schafer working with some guys to do their own crowdfunding stuff, that excites us. VR stuff is, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to do any VR anything.
No, I haven't yet.
Just a little bit.
It's pretty cool. I think there's a lot happening with VR right now that's just unsung, and we'll hear about it soon enough. I mean, they're all coming out this year, most of the headsets, so we'll get reviews and more people using them. But yeah, we're chasing after a lot of things. So I can't really pin it on one thing in particular.
Right. So you keep mentioning Steam. Is there a chance we might see some releases on PC for you guys?
We would love to. Yeah. I mean, like community. Like we want a bigger community. Sony's always been a great partner, but they obviously, we're limited to their platform.
Right.
So yes, we definitely have been exploring things like that, and we're kind of see where it goes.
I had my last question, which is a kind of a fun question too. If you could go to Campbell's and have them make, or Chef Boyardee, and have them make any SpaghettiO shape, what would it be?
Skull and crossbones.
That sounds like a pretty good one.
That would be a pretty good one.
I think that one would work too. Yeah. Excellent. Well, John, I really, really appreciate you taking your time out of your definitely busy day to come and sit down with us and do this interview. Definitely learned a lot, and definitely hope we can have you back on the show at some point in the future and talk about any new endeavors and things of that nature.
Yeah, happy to. I mean, I'm always happy to talk with people, and also, if you guys want, maybe we can always play some games together.
Yeah,
Pick them apart, laugh at them, make fun of them, and thank you very much.
That would be fun too. And everybody go pick up Fat Princess Adventures on the PS4 and enjoy some of that as well. So again, thank you very much, John.
Thank you, John.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon.
Have a good one. Yeah. See you later.
All right. So there's our John Mundy interview for everyone to hear and enjoy. So Chaz, I guess I didn't actually ever show you the final product, but what do you think?
I liked it. I mean, the watermark's iffy, but
yeah, I'll get it sorted out.
Yeah, we're gonna get that fixed. It was great. It was just a surreal moment for me to sit down and just talk with a developer.
Yeah, the more that we get this thing going, I know the more that we can really get these, the developers out there, because they are really rock stars. They really are, and a lot of people don't really know that many of them. So us getting them out there is just going to be great for us to do if we can get more of that going. For the full interview, I cut out maybe half. I'll do just like the raw cut of it, and I'll post that onto our YouTube whenever we upload this episode of OFA Show.
Yep.
So be sure to check that out as well.
And I'm actually going to take all of the audio from this episode and the audio from the full interview, and I'm going to start turning this show into a weekly podcast too. So those of you who don't get time to watch us on Twitch or check out the YouTube, I'm going to throw it up wherever I can, kind of looking at a couple different places. And so you can start getting us on just your audio devices as well, and just listening to all the gaming news for the week, stuff that's kind of important to us and whatnot. And I know this show is a little bit less us in terms of the live part and more John Mundy, but going forward, we're going to have more interviews. We
might even do some live interviews as well, if we can get that to line up.
John Mundy lives on the West Coast, so time zone differences and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna try to talk to some of the people that I know and see if we can get some other interviews going. And if at some point you guys have questions, you can send them to us. We'll ask them and try to make it a bigger community thing. Like, we want you guys to be involved in talking directly to the devs through us, if that's going to be a possibility with us going forward, because that's what we're kind of here to do, is more or less bridge a gap, because Devin and I are kind of squished into the gaming industry. We know a lot of people, we know a lot of personalities, we know a lot of devs, and we've just been around for a while, and I feel like we can bring that to everybody who's always had deeper questions about the industry, rather than just oh, I love this game, how did you think of that? Although I did ask that question. But,
people do want to know that still.
Yeah,
it's just there are deeper things that maybe you and I can help others along with. And something else too is, if you guys actually know of a developer that may talk to us, let us know. We'll see if we can get them on the show and ask them some of your questions. As always, you can hit us down on our email link at the bottom of the Twitch page. I'll put an email link in the YouTube as well to have that going. And yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to doing this thing. It's great.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got quite a way with talking to people, so like, trust me, there's no ridiculous request. Like, if you're just like, get Reggie Visa-me on here, I will try. I will.
I can at least do that much.
So, yeah, I think that's our show for this week. I hope everybody enjoyed that and enjoyed John Mundy coming in and answering some questions for us.
Yeah, I'm excited that we finally got it out there.
Yes, and we will definitely be back next Tuesday, 10 p.m. Central Time. Unless you're listening on the podcast or you're watching on YouTube, which is all up to you and your time schedule. We'll be live next Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time with O Faux Show.
Oh, for sure.
So, you put the exclamation point in here. Is that staying?
I don't know. I liked it on the front end, so
okay.
We'll see how it goes.
All right.
But hey, if you guys like this song, one of our good buddies, Matt, he made this song. Here's a nice little link for it. And if you guys also want to check out his SoundCloud, you can view it there as well. This is his song Crunch Deathcore Technica Respawn. And yeah, so I'll let you guys listen to it just for a second. And peace out, y'all.
See you guys later.